Hey, can you handle the truth? Can you handle it, as Jack Nicholson said? Can you handle the truth about fixed indexed annuities? I tell you what, there needs to be some truth out there. A lot of pitches are flying through the air, radio, TV, the Bad Chicken Dinner seminars, whatever, about fixed indexed annuities. From here on in, let's just call them indexed annuities, just to make it simple. Good products, sold a little bit too hypey for me. They're CD products. At the end of the day, you need to know what you're being pitched before you sign any piece of paper. Obviously, I mean what I say. I've written a book called The Indexed Annuity Owner's Manual. I'd love to send you a copy. If you hang in there with me through this video, I will tell you how to get your copy for free and under no obligation. Okay, so I had to bring out the whiteboard to make this simple because I do make annuities simple. That's what I try to do with all this education. What is the truth about indexed annuities? They were designed in 1995 to compete with CD returns. That's exactly what they do. But they also can offer an attached benefit for income called an income rider as well. It's a very efficient way to deliver that. But a lot of people want to know how the engine works. How does the gains work? If someone's talking market upside with no downside, how do they spew that out and how can they back that up? Well, number one, indexed annuities are a fixed annuity. It's a life insurance product. It's not a security. In my opinion, if it's going to be sold as a security, then let's regulate it as security, but that's not the case. So to sell it, you need a life insurance license. And in essence, the indexed option part of the indexed annuity is from typically, and there's tons of different types out there. We could spend hours on it, but let's just kind of take a 30,000-foot view. From contract anniversary date to contract anniversary date, there's a call option. Call option meaning we're betting to see if it goes higher on an indice, typically the S&P 500. And gains are limited. They call them caps and spreads. They're limited by the carrier and can be changed at the discretion of the carrier. So that sounds good in theory, and I guess when the planets align themselves, sometimes you can get a really good return. But the blended return over time is a little bit better than CD return, regardless of what you hear or shown or back tested. By the way, you own annuities for what they will do, not what they might do. And the will do is the contractual guarantees. The might do is all this unicorns chasing the butterfly return scenarios that you see. They typically don't come true, so please don't buy an indexed annuity for pie-in-the-sky return numbers, because the pitches sound really, really good, market upside with no downside, but hopefully you're smarter than that. They were designed in 1995 for CD type returns, a little bit better than CD type returns. At the end of the day, what's an indexed annuity do? It protects your principal. It's a principal protection product. But let's also look at it from the standpoint of delivering the benefit of an income rider for future income. Okay, so got the trusty pen out. We're going to kind of show you how it visually works when you attach an income rider to an indexed annuity. So here's your fixed indexed annuity, right? That's the FIA. You draw a line down the blank sheet of paper. This is the option side. So remember, the call option is typical on the S&P. Right now, there's a lot of made-up indices out of midair that they're back testing for, but at the end of the day, it's a call option on an index that they're going to lock in typically on an annual basis. But let's talk about what the income rider does. So the income rider is on this side right here, okay? And what an income rider is a future benefit for future income. Now, two separate calculations. So, if you put $100,000 in both sides, when you get your statement, you're going to see two separate calculations. Now, we don't know what this is going to be. There's a minimum guarantee if there's no returns whatsoever. You're not going to lose any money here. But let's just say you're going to get a 4% return, a little bit better than CD rates here. Okay? Now here's the pitch that's out there right now. The pitch is, okay, on the income rider side, you're going to get an 8% return, or 7 or 6, or some high number that makes you think Jimmy Carter's still in office. And you go, wait a minute. If the 10-year treasury is really low, how's some genius at an annuity company giving me that? They're not. It's monopoly money. This side here is monopoly money that you can only use to calculate your first income payment. Hey, that's not a bad thing. You just need to know that. In other words, you can't peel off the interest. You can't cash it in for a lump sum. You can't transfer it. So if you transferred annuities, this side calculation would transfer, not this side. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? This is monopoly money, a phantom account that can only be used to calculate your first income payment. Once the income starts, this wonderful Jimmy Carter yield goes away. The other thing is this. Now, typically most income riders, and when I say most, there's tons of index annuities out there. There's tons of different income riders. But the majority, when you attach this income rider, there's a fee. So the fee from this comes out of this side. So the fee from the income rider comes out of the accumulation value, for lack of a better word. I call it the real money value. This is the real money side. So the fee comes out of that. What's it growing by every year, that fee? 8%. So, annuity companies have the big buildings for a reason, right? That doesn't mean it's bad. You just need to know that. But for future income guarantees that are flexible, an index annuity is a good delivery system for that. And by the way, this side here, 99% of the time, will be higher than this side here. And why is that important? Because for you to access that income rider benefit side that's been growing by that high percentage number all these years, you have to turn on the income stream. Hey, that's a great business model for the annuity company, because what that does, it ensures that they're going to keep the money and then pay you a lifetime income stream based on your life expectancy at the time you take the payment. So, truth about indexed annuities, truth is CD type return, truth is monopoly money growth for income, which is okay if future income is the goal, but understand if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So let's go through a couple of sales pitches that you're going to hear out there, and let's decipher the truth out of every single one of them. You're going to hear, I'm going to give you an upfront bonus, 10% upfront bonus for signing the contract. Hey, that sounds good, free money. Trust me when I say there's no philanthropists at annuity companies that wake up in the morning that want to give you free money. It's just part of the overall contractual guarantee. Other thing you're going to see here, market upside with no downside, or market participation with no downside. Sounds good in theory, but you have to understand that they were put on the planet, indexed annuities, to compete with CD returns. And that's typically what you're going to see over time. And I get these calls all the time. A guy called me the other day. Hey, Stan, I just bought an 8% annuity and get 8%. No, you're not. Jimmy Carter's not in office. He's building homes in Atlanta. There's no 8% out there, okay? What you've got is an income rider that's growing at 8% that you can use to calculate your first income stream. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it's not yield. Now, he disagreed with me, of course, and said, no, that's not true. That's not what I was told. Okay, then call the annuity company and say, send me all that money that's been growing at 8%. So he did, called me back and goes, you're right. They wouldn't send me the money. It's only for income. Of course. Use your common sense out there, everybody. These are good products if you understand them fully. So how do you protect yourself out there in the hinterlands of indexed annuity sales, the go-go sales out there? First of all, I want to thank all the agents that have been feeding my mom in St. Augustine, Florida at these bad chicken dinner seminars for years. Of course, she's never bought one, but she keeps going. She's the type of person that calls them up and says, hey, what's on the menu for dessert? I mean, she's picky. She's a picky seminar. She's a professional plate licker, as they say. Hey, all aside, I kid my mom. But here's how you protect yourself in the indexed annuity world. When you get pitched something, write down exactly what you hear that agent say or advisor say, the way you understand it, not the way that just how you think the product works. Write it down in detail, sign and date it, flip the page around, and have that other agent and advisor sign and date it too. Now, if they've told the truth, great, you've got it on paper. If they haven't, they kind of push the envelope a little bit, or maybe need to do a little bit more research on the product, then they're probably not going to sign it, and you've got your answer on the product. So be very careful out there, because the benefits and limitations of indexed annuities are pretty obvious. The benefits, it's a fixed annuity. You're not going to lose any money, but you have the possibility of getting a little bit more than CD type returns over time, and you can attach an income rider for future income needs, which is all a good thing. The limitations all kind of circle around the sales pitches that are out there, the too good to be true sales pitches. Number one, you're smarter than that. As they say in Las Vegas, if you don't know who the sucker at the table is, it's you. You don't want to be that person, right? It's been a fire hose of information out there, I guarantee you. You're going, whoa, and I haven't even covered it. Believe me, we haven't even gotten into it. That's the reason you need to get the book. I do encourage you though, there's another video, this one that I did, which is, what type of annuity is best for me, that can help you decipher which one fits best in your, all annuities are different. All annuity types are different. You can't just say, I hate annuities, because that's like saying I hate all restaurants. So when you hear them on TV in the ads, I hate all annuities, come on now, you're smarter than that. Annuities have their place, their contracts, their transfer of risk strategies. So I know I've thrown a lot at you on the index annuity side. I would encourage you, it's about a 75-page book I've written called The Fixed Index Annuities Owner's Manual. I will send that to you for free. Do me a favor though, first of all, before I tell you how to get that, click the subscribe button every single weekday for Infinity. I put out a new video on annuities, all different types. People, if you want a video done, go to stantheannuityman.com and sign up there and say, hey Stan, do this video on this topic. I'll do it. I'm doing a ton of these because I want to educate the public on these products because there's a lot of misinformation out there. To get the book, underneath you see Stan the Annuity Man description, you'll see the word show more, okay? Click that and then you'll see a drop down, all kinds of stuff underneath there, but at the very kind of top of that drop down is get my owner's manuals, whatever. There's a link underneath there, click that, fill in your shipping information, and the book will arrive in the shiny gold foil package, not because it's fancy, but because it protects the book. And I want you to understand what's coming. When you see this, that's that index annuity owner's manual coming to you. So if you need a quote on index annuities, if you want to discuss it, obviously talk to me, get the book, understand the product. Don't buy the sizzle, buy the steak. Understand the good and the bad and the limitations, because index annuities do have their place if you fully understand them for what they will do.